to another edition of Tech Tuesday, presented by Delta Media Group, where we're thinking that Galadriel's so tough, I don't know how Sauron ever stood a chance. So today, we're going to take a look at a feature that we've had in the DeltaNet for a while and had some more recent updates to. So that's how we do around here, constantly keeping things updated. Um, so today, we're going to take a look at the system notifications functionality. What this really breaks down to is a variety of notifications that the system can send to you automatically to let you know about various things. I mean, it could be the state of a change in the DeltaNet, it could be offerings, it could be advice, or it could just be metrics, how your website's doing and how your leads have been doing over the past month. So we'll take a look at those settings so we can see exactly how to turn those on and off. And you can turn them on and off based on the notification type, so it's not all or nothing. And also we'll go over each of those so that we can give you little details about what they actually do and what you can expect to see in those notifications. So to get to the settings, we're going to click on our name up here at the top and click on Profile to go to our profile page. So from here, just like any other section on the profile page, I can click on Search Sections and I could scroll down, or I wouldn't have to scroll down. I can click on Search Sections and I can type in the name of the section. And you can see that takes me straight to that section. So I just typed in, or started typing in notifications, so it took me straight to my system notification setting. I could go up here and type system notifications into our quick actions bar, and you can see that that will give me a shortcut to exactly the same place. Or I could just scroll down to it. So if I clear that out, system notifications is a nice one because it's just the second section down here on the right anyway. So within this section, first you have the ability to determine who your system notification should be sent to. Now by default, that will just be you. It will be whatever your public email address is set to. So if we scroll up a little bit, this is my primary email. That's the email it's referring to. So by default, it will just send all of the notifications to that address. However, if you wanted it to send to a different email address, or that address plus additional email addresses, or just a series of email addresses that have nothing to do with this email address, you have the ability to do that. You just type out the email addresses here. Can't type my own name. There we go. And just put in a comma, and you can type in the next one. So there we go. You can just type out a comma-separated list here of all of your email addresses, or all the email addresses that you would like these notifications to go to. And then when you save this section, by clicking this Update Notifications button, that is where all of your system notifications will go. So as to the notifications themselves, the first one we have here is the digest notification. Now for all of these, you see we have a toggle here, toggled green like this, or the switch off to the right. That turns that on, so that means you'll start getting that notification. If you don't want to get that one, you just toggle it off, and then you won't get it anymore. So we'll leave that one toggled on. So the first one is your digest notification. This is a notice that sends out once a month, and it just gives you information about the activity that's taken place by your leads and your website in the past calendar month. So you'll get that. It depends on what company you're with as to what day of the month you get that. They don't all run on the same day. But each month you will get a notification in the first half of the month that tells you about the previous month. The kind of information that's included there is there could be an announcement at the top of that. Just recent Delta Media Group news can show up there. Any new leads that were created in the past month, new listings or listing performance over the past month, the results you've gotten from any AdWizard ads you've run, e-cards that were sent and viewed in the last month. Just a wide variety of those kinds of statistics are included on that email. And the idea is that we will continually add information to those emails as we come across new information or new metrics that we think will be useful to you to get on a monthly basis. So just kind of helps you see how things are performing to give you a better idea of what kind of changes you can make, if you want to make any, that could ultimately make your website perform better or get more activity from your leads. The next one is the new listing tips email. So anytime you have a new listing that comes into the DeltaNet, so we'll pull these in from MLS data, but every time you get a new listing, the system can automatically send you out an email that includes some advice on how to go about marketing that listing through the tools that are available to you in the DeltaNet. And it will even go so far as to giving you shortcuts to get to those tools. So the idea is that I get a new listing. One thing I should do is I should post it on social media. I should print out a flyer for it. I should send out an e-card. So you'll get an email that makes all those suggestions to you and also includes links to go and do those things. Next, you have AdWizard notifications. So if that is toggled on and you are using the AdWizard system, then what it will do is when you have a new ad that is getting close to expiration, this thing will send you a notification to let you know that, so that you have the opportunity to come in and either start the ad out anew or generate a new ad, or do whatever you'd like there. So really it's just notifying you that you do have an ad created through AdWizard that's getting close to expiring. Next, you have the upcoming email digest. So if you have any emails that are set to go out from the systems that are described here, so basically a campaign email, a scheduled e-card, or an email blast that's set to go out within the next 3 days, the system can send you a notification to let you know those are about to go out, so that you can come in and kind of double check those before they're actually sent. So it just gives you a kind of a 3-day window where any of your automated emails from those systems can be reviewed before you actually let those go out. And it can be nice. Sometimes you might set up an email blast, or have a campaign email set up that you weren't quite finished with, you didn't think about, or you just forgot about it after you set it up and maybe you addressed it another way. This gives you the opportunity to stop those before potentially sending out an email you didn't want, or if some information has changed since you created the email, it gives you an opportunity to update that. The next thing we have here is the Daily Digest email. So the Daily Digest email is mainly meant to show you any upcoming tasks or past due tasks that you have set up in the system that you may have missed. This will actually go out every day if you have anything that will populate the email. And it can also include a few different sections here that you can exclude if you choose based on the additional settings here. So you can see special days, customer viewed properties. It can include those by default, but if you don't want to see those and you don't want them to take up space on that digest email, but you do want to get everything else like the tasks on that email, you can have this toggled on, and then you can use these checkboxes to just disable those sections. Now, special events primarily consists of birthdays, and then agent special days would typically be agent birthdays. So just to give you an idea what is usually included in those sections. The next piece we have down here is company news. So if your company is entering any news articles, those can be included in a digest email that goes out to you, and those will just be sent anytime any new news is created. Next is a weekly bounce report. So what this will do is send you an email each week that gives you basically a list of all of the customer emails that have bounced when you sent them out. So it's not the email itself, it is the recipient. So the idea is that if I send an email out to 100 people and 20 of those emails bounce back to me because those email addresses are either no longer valid or the mailboxes are full or whatever the case is, this report would include those 20 emails and say, these 20 addresses bounced when you tried to send email to them, so that you can go in and address those. The idea is from there you can go into the email reporting page in the DeltaNet, and you can view what those are. You can remove those from the system, or you can even contact those customers if you have other contact information, and potentially get updated email addresses for those. So it's just about pointing that information out to you. Now the next piece here is if you do have the dot loop, or if your company has the dot loop import functionality turned on. So this is importing transactions that were entered into dot loop and then automatically tying them to the customers that made the transactions in your DeltaNet. If that system is turned on, this can send you a notification every time a new dot loop transaction is imported, or rather anytime a transaction is imported from dot loop. There we go. Now the next one is the digital traffic report summary notification. So typically that's called a seller report summary notification instead of digital traffic report, but it means the same thing. Really, any seller reports that you have set up for your listings, what this will do is send you a weekly report of all of those that went out in the last week. So the idea is you can just easily keep an eye on all the seller reports that are going out for your listings, so that really if there are any that are missing a seller report or that one was never set up, this will point that out to you, so you can go in and set up those seller reports so that the sellers are actually getting those weekly digital traffic reports and they know what's going on with their listing. So there you go. To turn these on, as I said, you just toggle them on and you hit update notifications, and that's all it takes. At that point, you have saved those settings and you'll start getting those emails. So, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send an email into support@deltagroup.com or give us a call and we can help you out with this or whatever else you need. Thanks a lot.